Hi everyone, welcome back to my art journaling channel. This is Michelle, and in today's video I'm showing you how I made this little interactive page using a transparent window stencil from Marlene. So I stenciled at the back of this transparency sheet with some black gesso and let it sit overnight to dry, and then I cut it out. And now I'm going to make a spot for it in my journal. I traced around the edge of the transparency sheet, and I've got actually 2 pages stacked on top of each other there because I want to sandwich the window in between the 2 pages. I've also cut a little bit on the inside of the line that I made so that there is space for the little window to sit on. And I'm going to secure that with some double-sided tape. It's a really thin tape. Whenever I use doors and windows in my journals, I will always make them flap open or find a way to make you see through them, just because in my mind, a door and a window can open. And so in my journals, I like for them to open and have maybe a little somebody inside there, or a little quote, or something just a little fun. Okay, I'm going to add glue to the rest of my page. So I've got I can make sure that these 2 pages are going to stick together nicely, and I'm just making sure everything's adhered well, and then I'm erasing my lines. So before I started this video, I did actually go through an older Paper Elements book. I think I did show it earlier, and I just chose a whole bunch of flowers and I fussy cut around them because that book still has the white border around the die cuts, and I do not particularly love that. So I've cut them all out. And now I'm going to start adding color. I did not gesso this page, so the paint that's going on actually seeps into the paper quite quickly. I am watering down my paint a little bit because I wanted to get a little bit more of a watercolory effect, and where the flowers will be, just underneath them, I'm darkening up those spaces. So I went in with Mermaid first, and then with Azure to darken up, because obviously I want that to look a little bit like a shadow. Whenever I am drying my page, I am covering that little transparency sheet with my hand, just because it's not heat resistant and it will curl and buckle if it got a little too hot. Okay, gluing down my flowers, and I'm just putting glue just in the center of the flower so that they can still be lifted, and I can still tuck more flowers and leaves and things underneath and still get my paintbrushes underneath if I needed to. So I'm just creating a little bit of a cluster around that window. Okay, I'm going in with some funky. I think it's funky. It's the neon purple one in Marlene's range, and I knocked my camera. I'm sorry about that little glitch we got there. And with the funky paint, I'm just going in underneath the flowers, popping some of that paint down, really watered down, and I'm making sure that I put enough paint down so that when I tip my book up and tap it onto my surface, it's going to create some drips. And at the end there, I did add a little bit of splatter as well. I'm going to make sure that those drips and the funky paint is really nice and dry. Punk, I think it's punk actually, sorry. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with my acrylic markers, also from Marlene, and I'm just going to brighten up some of those areas. So I'm going over the pink with pink, and I'm going over the purple with purple, but it is just brightening everything up and darkening adding a little bit more shading and dimension to the flowers. And later on, I will also go in with a little bit of black and white detail. I really liked adding the yellow paint pen to the flower. It really just brightened everything up. I must admit the yellow paint pen from Marlene is so beautiful and bright. Just adore using it. And here and there I'll smudge the paint pen with my finger as well to just get a little bit more of a blended look. And you'll see how these flowers come alive when I add just a touch of white. It's not a lot at all, but it really does make such a difference to a page and to just bring a little bit of life and dimension. So if you have any paper elements that you feel like they're not quite working for you, this is your sign to customize them and make them work for you. You can add color, you can cut bits off, you can add bits, and you can create new things by chopping up two different ones and putting them together in a different way. There's always something to do to make our products work for us. And once I'm done faffing about with my paint pens, I think I'm just adding a quote. And I think that's it for the page. I think I just forgot to say that I did also obviously add that little stencil. And that's it. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll chat to you again soon. Bye.